One of my most recent Facebook status updates was a rant screaming at my elementary school art teacher, Gail Gunter Trausch, a woman I have hated for over 35 years. And I just thought it was kind of funny that just to have this moment of letting loose in my opinion of her for the very first time in public. A feeling that I've felt since 1977. She was my art teacher. She was fresh out of college kid, really, probably 21 years old or two. And I was naturally talented at drawing. I could get a likeness of anybody. And I really stood out from the other kids. And it was really, I'm not bragging, but I mean, it was my one thing. And that ability to apprehend or get the gist of somebody's face or what they're about is basically, I've transcended that into other things that I'm good at. But it basically boils down to this conception ability that I have of recognition and transcription. That's what I can do. I can memorize large pieces of poetry, and it's really based on the same thing. But what I was mad about is she ruined my life, I feel like. You know, when a child has a talent, it should be nurtured. So many children, that key moment in their life is just wasted. That moment of development where they need guidance, appropriate guidance, recognition of what their talent is, and have it be nurtured and fostered. And the things that kids are, like the kid that's on the Little League team, he doesn't want to be in baseball, he doesn't care about baseball, he just feels like he should do that, or Boy Scouts, do they really want that? They don't want it. They don't, so many kids, they're just doing stuff because their parents had them do it, or the school's curriculum is, well, my art teacher, she was just horrible. I could actually draw better than her, and I felt that it was jealousy. She couldn't stand the fact that if I sat next to her in front of a person and we both draw the person, I would draw the person better. And I believe that she frustrated me on purpose, and it worked. I was never taught a skill, like a technique of drawing. Never. In elementary school or high school or college, never. I have never met anybody that would sit down and show you how to do, draw a line a certain way, or the steps to drawing a background or perspective, or nothing. Just so many idiots are paid to stand in front of children and guide them through life. The kids are looking behind them at the clock on the wall because they just know that their time is being wasted and they just want to go home. People know, I think, by intuition that they're being lied to, that something's just not right. In school, I was just like, when it was history, I was like, something wrong about this. Just, they were having us memorize this about the Stamp Act, or the Second Continental Congress, and about what's going on in Boston in 1770, and I was just like, that glitchy moment where you're like, why, this is boring. And it's not boring. It's a wonderful time in world history, and kids should be introduced to the reason why. Kids should be sat down when they're 15 and said, okay, this is what it's like to be 25 and live on your own. This is what this costs. You're going to have insurance. You're going to have to pay for electricity, gas, water, your rent, or your mortgage payment, your car, and just a moment of saying, you got to make this amount of money if you want this kind of life. And then if you have kids, this is what it costs. That was never done. There was sex education. And all that time of all those graphs and, they never show a penis going into a vagina. Like the main thing. They never say that. They say, oh, well, the sperm goes... They never actually say the man inserts his penis into the woman's body. You imagine the backlash if someone did that. A teacher would be fired for that, for instructing and telling exactly what. If someone, a 5th grade teacher says, well, okay, takes the chalk and draws a woman with her uterus and her vagina and says, okay, we have the erect penis over here. It goes up into the vagina, it goes up and down until it becomes organically stimulated, and then it releases a bunch of semen, which is held by the vagina, kind of like a clamping mechanism, and like a pouch, hold it, like a little marsupial pouch, until little sperm swims up into the cervix and all that good stuff. Exact information of what it takes to make a child, but if you said any of that and drew those pictures, you would be fired. Instead, they talk about deodorants, the things they absolutely have to say, but they don't, you know what I mean. It's ridiculous. No pun intended.